The pretty much grounded approach to reflection. My structure of my presentation, as you can see from the slide, we'll be looking at the fields of knowledge, some examples of values, outcomes of values education, looking at the 3H, we'll come to discover that shortly, and values in operation. Well, to commence with my presentation, I considered some of the expressions on education, which are as follows, looking at education in the context of the body, mind, and spirit. It's about knowing thyself, or the inner self, and it's about everything you utter, every thought you project, and the actions that we undertake. A review of literature showed two dimensions to knowledge, and they were the inner and the outer. And inner, as you can see, they reflect on the 3H's, which is the head, heart, and hands, whereas the world field of knowledge reflects on the student experience in terms of the academic achievement. Well, literature showed that values education very well fitted with students' inner experience of developing one's character. When we're looking at the worldly education, we're looking at that fitting well with the student's quest for academic excellence. Now, some examples of values from human's values sphere are as follows. And we can keep on adding on to the list. And some examples of values from the international frameworks are very clearly stated in various international documents as well. Some of the findings as a result of the examination of literature on values education show that it helps to transform students through the experience of inherent values. It tries to heighten, or it attempts to heighten the reverence of unity of life, provides academic and social skills which lead to individual excellence. It also develops self-confidence, self-reliance, self-discipline as well as to enable students to effectively make decisions and solve problems. It's about nurturing the balance of the body, mind, and emotion, something we saw in the very first slide, and also empowering our students to discriminate between right and wrong, and trying to unify the 3H, thought, word, and deed. The focus of educational institutions concentrates on the head and the hands factor. The focus of values education has an additional element to it, which is the heart factor, probably getting more of a genuine approach to students' development, and we as instructors as well. So that shows us the difference between the two institutions. Now, values in operation, we can see at the primary level that there's a school set up in Lautoka where it integrates human values in the Ministry of Education's standard curriculum. We're looking at also at the secondary level that there is a booklet on human and moral values education which assists teachers at the secondary level to implement in their curriculum and as they go around teaching to integrate the human values into their delivery. Coming closer to home at the tertiary level, there is also in Lautoka an institute set up to promote and develop values based on educational program for teachers and community groups. But at home we've got the School of Education, the unit ED 334, which actually addresses values in education. And the most prominent one now as we speak is the STAR project, a great initiative by the STAR project to bring to life the students' experience to develop their inner qualities and character through curriculum delivery and assessment regimes. And ethics is the one that really points out. Bruce mentioned that the ethics rubrics makes reference to ethical reasoning and the application. So we could take the ethics institutional outcome and embed that into our delivery of curriculum and also our assessment regime. But the question to ask also is, we as instructions, as much as the STAR project focuses on students' development and excellence, we as instructors also need to ensure that we try and identify where are they. They're also inbuilt in us, just like any other student. So probably it is a conscious effort to recognize, to acknowledge, become aware, and cultivate these values and integrate them into our curriculum and our assessment regime, and also through our delivery of our content material. We as instructors, we need to be committed to ensure that we are able to deliver and impart through the process of our curriculum and assessment regimes. Like I mentioned earlier, it's just not an effort on our behalf, on our end, but a conscious effort on our end to enable students to help realize their inner potential and to develop their character and their qualities as a student, which allows them to reflect on their behavior and approaches to life, as well as the academic experience as well. And we've got the local and international pressing issues, no doubt, which can be addressed by harmonizing values education with worldly education. That concludes my slide presentation, and I have got a very short presentation for 3.5 minutes on a YouTube presentation which can sum up my paper.
Provide a forum for people to come and discuss ethical issues that are important in their lives. You know, we all encounter ethical issues in our lives in small and big ways, in our relationships with one another, in bigger social ways. We often don't take the time to reflect and examine on our values and ethical issues that we confront. So this is an opportunity for people to do that in a constructive way. And you know, there are a lot of initiatives on campus that are aiming to do similar things, and they all aim to raise awareness and understanding about ethical issues, about social issues with ethical implications that are important in our lives. So it's important to be a part of that conversation, and we see what we're doing and all of these initiatives as complementing one another. I hope to accomplish in the series, for students in particular, an opportunity to engage in the examined life a little bit. You know, that famous quote from Socrates, the unexamined life is not worth living. So this is an opportunity to do that, to participate in the examined life, in dialogue and communication with others, and in doing so to raise our awareness, to come to perhaps a better understanding of ourselves and of the values that we are committed to and that we think are important. And I think the students will really gain both reflective awareness and greater understanding of ethical issues. I think hopefully they'll also become aware of things that they didn't even think about as ethical issues. Eventually we hope to expand the topics that we'll be covering. We have a theme each semester that will be different, and around that theme we'll organize different discussion topics. So we hope that it will really be an opportunity for people to think constructively about ethical issues. And this semester the theme is ethics on campus, sort of starting with ethics at home, if you will, our Hofstra home. And the first discussion takes place on March 8th, a Monday, from 6:30 to 7:30 in our Hofstra parlor. And the topic will be, what do we expect from one another? What should we expect from one another in our roles as faculty, students, administrators, staff? How can we cultivate relations of mutual respect? March 22nd is the second topic, again 6:30 to 7:30, Monday evening. And the topic is integrity and responsibility. What are our responsibilities as students, as faculty, as administrators, staff? Why do we value academic integrity? What is it? Why is it important? The third topic is on Monday, April 12th, and the topic is, what is the good life? And how does going to college, contribute to the good life? Is the good life just living well materially? Is it something more than that? And what contribution does college make to that? I like to teach because I love to learn, and I love to learn with students. I love to help students find their edge in the sense of cultivate their intellectual skills, which I think are really important skills to have in life. And I like teaching at Hofstra because it attracts a very diverse student body. being located where it is, it has the advantage of the resources culturally and intellectually that New York can offer. I have wonderful colleagues with whom I can have sometimes team taught, and that's a terrific experience for both faculty and students. It's a place where you can experiment a lot on your programs, your courses, a series like ours, the Ethics and Human Values series. So it's a